Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, I'm Christodon1, and I am back with another video. I kind of wanted to wait doing this video to see the outcome of the series, but the NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but everyone out there, including their mamas, knew that the Cleveland Cavaliers had no shot to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have too much firepower, for one, and a lot more chemistry around each other than the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, the Cleveland Cavaliers has been mixing and matching their roster all through the regular season, trading people, trading players, trading philosophies, things of that nature. It was inconsistent with the Cleveland Cavaliers versus being consistent with the Golden State Warriors, because let's just face facts, face reality. The Golden State Warriors fit well with each other, and also the game plan they have, you know, playing without the ball, does wonders for a lot of shooters. Most notably, Chef Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, the Cleveland Cavaliers thus far, you know, when you talk about their road to the NBA Finals, hasn't been great, other than the series with the Toronto Raptors. You know, the Toronto Raptors didn't even deserve to be in the same building with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you hear all of these Cleveland Cavaliers fans, these LeBron James blind witnesses fans, are already on the narrative of, one, LeBron James is definitely going to be leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers, and two, he should leave because he doesn't have that much help. He doesn't have that much support. The ownership, Dan Gilbert. We're going to tackle all this, as well as the future of LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers in this playoff series, as well as the NBA Finals. And I think a lot of people are, you know, a lot of people out there they have memory lapse, where they just remember what they want to remember. Remember, folks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, when they played the Indiana Pacers, that was a tough, drag-out series. And if it wasn't for Victor Oladipo not connecting on a lot of shots, that series could have been different, and the outcome would have been different. There's a possibility where the Pacers could have prevailed in that series alone. That was the opening of the NBA playoffs. A lot of people seem to forget the struggle was real with the Cleveland Cavaliers, not with the Toronto Raptors, but they have been on and off throughout the regular season. You know, they haven't just, you know, blazed through the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Boston Celtics, they hold their own with the Cleveland Cavaliers and took it to the limit. Just imagine if they would have had Kyrie Irving, if they would just had Kyrie Irving for that series and that series only, that outcome could have been different. Okay. And now when you talk about the finals, you know, if you was a betting man, you would have to put your money on, stack your chips to the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Golden State Warriors didn't have a stellar playoff road to the finals due to injuries. Steph Curry was injured mostly through the playoffs. Klay Thompson was injured through the playoffs. Andre Iguodala, he was injured through the playoffs. And the inconsistencies of Kevin Durant. I don't know what happened to Kevin Durant, but there were a couple of games where Kevin Durant wasn't Kevin Durant until last night. Okay? So, and also the luck and the fortune that the Golden State Warriors had when Chris Paul got injured, that series could have went either way, either to the Rockets or the Golden State Warriors. Just so with the same could be said for the Cleveland Cavaliers when they played the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. That series could have that series was basically a coin flip, okay? But despite all that, we're at the finals. And I knew before the finals even started that this would possibly go to 4, maybe 5 games. People seem to forget, and like I said earlier, people have memory loss. They just remember what they want to remember. The Cleveland Cavaliers had a hard time competing with the Golden State Warriors last year with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Both of them were healthy, along with the fact with LeBron James. They had a hard time when it was just them three. And when they lost in 5 games, a lot of, rumors were floating around that Kyrie Irving simply just wanted to move on. Now, a lot of people blame Kyrie Irving for this fact. Well, he just didn't want to play with LeBron James. He didn't want to coincide with LeBron James. But I think Kyrie Irving saw the writing on the wall. He knew that LeBron James was probably going to play one more year and he was going to be bounced. He was going to bounce from the Cleveland Cavaliers organization. And he would have been stuck with players that fit LeBron James more than Kyrie Irving. And a lot of these players were overpriced players that LeBron James wanted. And most of these players are, are signed to LeBron James' agency. Okay? J.R. Smith, who got a huge contract, and nobody wasn't bidding for J.R. Smith, and they could have gotten J.R. Smith with the home discount. Same could be said for Christian Thompson. The Cleveland Cavaliers outbidded themselves with those 2 players because there was no market for those 2 players. Okay? It is what it is. And these are the same players that LeBron James is now throwing shade at. Okay? So Dan Gilbert and the Cleveland Cavaliers organization have given everything that LeBron James wanted. Okay? They went over the salary cap. They signed players that no other team had a strong interest in. Okay? LeBron James boys. All right? So this notion that, LeBron James really leaving because of the relationship of Dan Gilbert, when you talk about these 2 entities, they really don't have a relationship with one another other than a business partnership. Nothing more, nothing less, okay? So people are saying, LeBron James leaving because what Dan Gilbert wrote in that letter, which, by the way, Dan Gilbert, when he posted that letter, that was so disrespectful for LeBron James. But that's neither here nor there. That was like, 5-6 years ago? Okay, or we're still holding on to the fact about that letter now, since LeBron James came back home, even though he didn't forgive Dan Gilbert. I mean, even though he forgave Dan Gilbert, he didn't forget what Dan Gilbert did. All right, and where Dan Gilbert didn't sign, LeBron James, the GM, and I got brain freezed here. I forgot his name. I was going to say Kobe, but it wasn't Kobe. It was the other GM that the Cleveland Cavaliers and them trading Kyrie Irving, which, by the way, Kyrie Irving took the same path and chose the same path of being traded, just like LeBron James when he left. LeBron James always talking about players should have more control with their future, and that's what Kyrie Irving did. Okay. Now, the future of LeBron James. Let's just go ahead and face facts. If they don't get sweep, if it's not a sweep tomorrow, it's going to end in 5 games. All right. But let's just move on to the future of LeBron James. Now, I've been stating in countless videos, I do not see a scenario where LeBron James is going to leave Cleveland. Because if you look at all of the destinations everyone's talking about, he's probably going to end up with the same result with the Golden State Warriors. other than joining the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors really don't have an interest for LeBron James, and even if they did have an interest for LeBron James, they would have to give up on the current players that they have. I think the players that they have, and they also have a record of how to beat LeBron James, they don't necessarily need LeBron James. LeBron James need the Golden State Warriors more so than the Golden State Warriors need LeBron James. All right? Now, let's talk about the future. Houston. I don't see the pieces of the Rockets fitting well with LeBron James. Okay? Somebody's going to have to take a huge back seat. I can see Chris Paul somewhat doing it. I can see LeBron James somewhat doing it, but I don't see James Harden doing it. And therein lies the problem. You have to feed the beast. And they already have a facilitator in Chris Paul. So you're going to turn Chris Paul, who's a facilitator, who's an old school point guard, who plays like an old school point guard, and now y'all going to have him behind the three-point line or behind different shooting angles, so LeBron James can continue to be the facilitator. I just don't see that type of scenario with the Houston Rockets, and I don't see how that's going to necessarily work. All right. The LA Lakers. The only way I can see LeBron James going to the LA Lakers, if he goes to the LA Lakers, he's basically telling you he's giving up on trying to win titles. All right. LeBron James has a lot of things going in LA. That's the only reason why he would join the LA Lakers. The LA Lakers talent is green and younger, and it may be better than the Cleveland Cavaliers talent, but you have to wait for this thing to blossom and grow and develop. And I just don't think LeBron James has that type of time, you know. So the Philadelphia 76ers, he'll be in the East, but even with LeBron James, Ben Simmons, and Embiid, that's still not enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. They'll be the beast of the East, sort of say, you know. But other than that, it'll be almost the same result of him going to the finals, okay? Unless they're going to add more shooters to the 76ers, and unless LeBron takes a huge pay cut. That's the only way that's going to happen if they want to keep the same roster that they have last year, okay? Someone has thrown out the notion that the Knicks. Now, here's where that scenario could be intriguing. The Knicks have a lot of flexibility salary cap wise. Okay. They already have one superstar for the New York Knicks. Obviously, if they sign LeBron James, they're going to have to get another superstar talent, which they'll probably be willing to get. And they're going to have shooters around those three individuals: Porzingis, LeBron James, and whatever superstar you're going to try to get in there, Paul George, whoever. I think, you know, everybody's clamoring for Paul George. Now, here's a place I can see it sort of working, but the only way it can work if LeBron James takes a huge pay cut, and that's signing to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, if we're playing these scenarios, I still think he's going to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, but if they don't have to give up nothing, and if they can keep everybody on the roster, you know, he has ties with Carmelo. Paul George can sign an extension there. They already have Westbrook, so there's your scorer. LeBron James doesn't want to score anymore, all right? He wants to be more a facilitator, and he can be a better facilitator with those three guys than what he had with the Cleveland Cavaliers, okay? But at the end of the day, I still think he's going to stay signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers, because there's really no other angles to, there's no other teams he can go to that's going to automatically bid him for him to get a championship other than joining the Golden State Warriors. And I don't see a scenario where the Golden State Warriors are going to be giving up on half their roster just to get LeBron James. I just don't see that type of angle. So chances are LeBron James is going to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why? He's familiar with the organization. He knows that Dan Gilbert is willing to, go over the salary cap to make things happen. Clearly, they're going to have to trade away a lot of their pieces If you can find someone that wants a J.R. Smith, that's going to be highly unlikely. And Christian Kardashian, I don't see anybody willing to trade for Christian Kardashian, Christian Thompson. But if you do find someone, you're going to have to get their salary dumps in order for Christian Thompson. And you're probably the only piece that you can trade and get some more acquisitions for is Kevin Love. Okay, you'll be pretty much starting this thing over to shed some type of salary cap space. Clearly, these moves are going to be trade moves. They're not going to be able to trade all of these pieces to fit Paul George. It's not going to happen. All right, so that's what's going on, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, and I am out. Deuces.